Good afternoon. How are you? Well, I'm back in Virginia, and I'm taking a break on our roads, which are still covered in snow and are pretty slippery. So I just try to be careful. I'm disappointed but not surprised that Gorsuch remains an arse, as they may say. Sotomayor, an associate justice, has diabetes and is very anxious because she's endangered by COVID. And so she's been very careful to avoid anyone who's not wearing a mask. And she's careful to distance and so forth. But when she sits on the Supreme Court at oral argument, she sits next to Gorsuch and he refuses to wear a mask. Now, the Chief Justice has asked, not necessarily directly with regard to Sotomayor, according to reports, that he wear a mask, as everybody should wear a mask. But because he does not wear a mask, Sotomayor has had to telework, not appear in the chambers during the argument. And that's wrong. And to think that he couldn't, for whatever the duration of an argument is, that he couldn't wear a mask is not very adult. Now, for most of us, we've thought that Gorsuch was just living up to the poor standard that his mom set when she was compromising our environment at the EPA. And now we have him in the highest court in the land making decisions that are religious-based and now political-based, because this is not science and it's certainly not courteous. This man is the one who went to the Supreme Court when they delayed appointing any person that Obama wanted on the Supreme Court. So you see, America is not working right. Now on the Hill, this is also true. But I have several observations about the current fight over the Voting Rights Act. And it is this: yes, it is worthy. Yes, it is necessary. Yes, it should be passed. But we are on notice that we do not have the agreement within the Democratic caucus. 2 people at least are enough to defeat it, because there is not a single Republican that supports the Voting Rights Act or racial justice or the Build Back Better bill or cloture. So, what are the Democrats doing, forcing a vote today when they know they can't win it? Now, my first instinct, and I think it remains my last, is that the Democrats are, fill in the word, losers. I am embarrassed that you would do something to purposefully lose. I am embarrassed as a Democrat that you're forcing Democrats to go on the record that might just as well remain silent in this fight. I'm thinking of Mark Kelly in Arizona, who has come out for ending the cloture, and I agree with that, it's a supermajority, and expressing other opinions. And I don't know how close his election is, but we know it was a difficult election when he ran. So that's one consideration. I have no idea if any other Democrat is affected. You may say, well, what are we to do? Well, the legislation is not the only tool in our grab bag of tools to do something. We have an attorney general who should get off his ass and start doing something about these voting irregularities across the nation. This is the sleepiest attorney general I've ever seen. We've had attorney generals before who have done wrong things, but I don't know that we've ever had the listless attorney general as we have presently. We have experts on TV saying, I don't know how we're going to get from the rioters to a prosecution of Trump. Well, the rioters are not the direction. We have everybody around Trump talking about what they did and when, and the emails and the messages, and the writing passages in books, and people are scratching their heads wondering how we go forward with that. What does that have to do with voting rights? What it has to do with voting rights is the lie that is putting us in this position, the lie that our elections are not safe and fair, and that lie comes from Trump and his associates, and nary a Democrat has got up and challenged them, gone toe-to-toe with them. And this election has got to be about a reckoning, has to be about fair voting, has to be about racial justice, has to be about building back better. And that is a concession that the Senate and the House are paralyzed, unable to serve the public, unable to fulfill their responsibility for the general welfare. And that's in part because the Republicans won't do anything. And when I say in part, it's 100% in part. There have been very few occasions in which the Republicans have joined in a, quote, bipartisan way. And that's because both McConnell and McCarthy tell them not to. That's what we should be saying to the public. What we should be saying to the public is, yes, historically, incumbent presidents have trouble at the polls in the midterms. But that should not happen this year, because the issues that divide us are about your right to vote for whom you wish when they're trying to suppress the vote. That all people are equal in America, and they don't believe that. That we want to build back better to those people who've suffered in the pandemic, and they don't want that. And they want to have a rule of process on the floor that blocks anything that doesn't get 60 votes, which means, unlike every other institution in America that has majority rule, they want supermajority rule, as they used to compromise race across America in the Jim Crow laws. So I don't take much solace in the fact that Emily's List is going to oppose Sinema or the attacks on Manchin. That's a sideshow. Those are two people in a Senate in which people were governing instead of playing politics, in a Senate in which people were taking care of people instead of trying to acquire power at whatever cost it is to the public and to the democratic tradition of America. That's not acceptable. So here I am out here, and it's actually pretty nice. I don't know, 44 degrees feels good after a lower temperature. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye-bye.